the superstar of the future, beginning to get the results to go with that talent. This is a huge opportunity for both players to play for the title tomorrow. Who is going to grab it? Luca BRECEL to get us underway. The first to 6 frames for the right to face Martin Gould for the trophy.
Well, good return there. Looking forward to this one, Phil, with these two young guns here. It's a difficult one to pick, as the boys were saying. You've got to edge towards Kyren, just that little bit more experience at this sort of level. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's won all of his matches 5-4, so happy to be here. Could have easily gone home earlier in the week, so sometimes when that happens, you think, well, could it be my week?
Bound to be plenty of nerves out there as well. And a safety error from BRECEL. So the first opportunity goes to the reigning Shanghai Masters champion. How he would love to add the German Masters to his CV. More than capable.
It was a great reception in this packed house here in the Temple Zone. And these two boys came out. 2,500 people in this venue. It's fantastic.
Tremendous resilience shown by Kyren Wilson this week, as Mike mentioned. 5-4 victories over Rory McLeod from 4-1 down. That marathon against Michael Holt, which only ended an hour before his quarter-final against Ryan Day, where he was 4-2 down. But every time he's come up with the answers, and that is a very promising sign in terms of his ability to get right to the top of the game in the years ahead.
Absolutely. You know, you say he could have been on the plane home a couple of days ago. And we know what sport is like, professional sport, and it's all about the door of opportunity. You know, once you can walk through it, or sometimes it gets slammed in your face. But if, you know, you're thinking to yourself, well, I should have been out, and all of a sudden, I've got a chance to win the tournament. But you've got to get past a talented young man in Luca BRECEL this evening, and also another talented man in possibly Martin Gould tomorrow if he comes through this one.
I'm sure Martin will be catching some of this evening, having done the business earlier against Graham Dott.
Yeah, saw him in the tournament office area earlier this afternoon, and he was just chilling out, still in the building, so I think he's probably got one eye on this game.
Gould, like BRECEL, seeking his first ever ranking title. He's been in a couple of finals. Big evening for that young man, just 20 years of age, the youngest player ever to play at the Crucible, eclipsing Stephen Hendry's record when he faced Stephen Maguire a few seasons back.
Couldn't do a lot with the cue ball there, just on its natural path from that blue, and this is a little tricky pot from the side cushion. Always have to cue these well, especially with the black and the pink tied up. He's going to have to play this with some power to get back for the blue. It's missable. Well, well done. Hang on. That's on the
foul.
Didn't deserve that.
Kyren Wilson 18, Luca BRECEL 4.
Had to put everything into the pot there.
Yeah, that was always a possible with the angle off that side cushion. Could have knuckled and stayed out. Another day it probably would have been. There's a chance of a pot here for Luca though, out of a ball in hand. There's loose red left of the pack. He's got to sort of half stun this though to avoid the black and the reds. Unlucky. The exchanges, of course, just settling down, getting used to the conditions. But he's left it on.
A rueful smile from the young Belgian. Once again, he leaves a red rather invitingly over that corner pocket for Wilson.
Well, it always looked wide.
Kyren Wilson, 1.
It does make a difference when you just put that little mini butt on the cue. It just throws slightly differently. Chance to open up the black here. Nice, good pot.
1.
So he's given Kyren a couple of early chances, which he hasn't really made a few points out of, although he went in off, of course, in the middle. That was unlucky, but the first real chance here for Luca then. It's a pity that a couple of shots ago when he contacted the black, but he's left it there. He could have done with that black just being off the cushion a little bit more. Would help with the black on its spot. Back for the blue or the green.
Five.
Well, he might play the brown now. Ooh, there's a message coming through on the mobile phone. Gone to split them. Great effort. There might be one there into this left corner. He's checking it.
9.
Oh, dear me, that's unlucky. And the other one won't go as well. The problem that he's got now is covering this red over the left-hand corner pocket. That will not go. And he can't see the other one either.
Luca BRECEL, 9.
put the cue ball to the top cushion here. Either off the pack or off that loose red. There's no way that he wants to take the cue ball down the table. He could leave that red on. Should be fairly safe on the top cushion. Well, Luca can play off this red near the pocket now and just get rid of it and take the cue ball down the table. Just for 1 second there, I thought Kyren might have left that red down the top cushion. Well, looking at a possible plant, but he's attacking them from the wrong angle. He's going to have to hit the first red very thin indeed. If it was slightly set towards the top cushion, it wouldn't be a problem. No, couldn't get it from there. It was the wrong angle. I wonder if he's left one on for Luca here, though, to the left corner. I think it's set to the side cushion. Everybody thinking if that blue might go in. What about that one?
Terrific cueing. No margin for error with one of those. How clean it was.
No angle, Phil, was there? Hardly any angle. Brilliant. Hang on. Oh, well. That would have been a little bit careless sifting on in off there, but he caught the blue far too thin. And now he's nowhere. The poor shot, really. With the reds available. This packed audience here at the Tempodrome. Fantastic.
Not a spare seat to be had. Great to see.
That could be enough.
Foul.
Well, he's finding the pockets with the cue ball, if not the reds and the colours.
Might consider a career in billiards once his snooker days are over.
A possible red here for Luca to this right corner pocket. You can cut this one back in and it's what we call a shot to nothing. It's always with the element of safety. Too thin. Well, he needs some cover here. And he's got it with the pink. Well, this is tricky for Kyren because it's not easy to get the cue ball back to balk. He might play this red cushion first, but it's not right over the corner pocket. It's a few inches away. And he's got to hit it, well, quarter ball, and he'll be colliding into other things. This is tricky. Oh,
Foul. And a miss. Luca BRECEL 4.
Well, he might leave this if it keeps going. He has.
One.
Just the wrong side of the blue. He could get back for the red near the black. Decided on the pink. Yeah, that's a great shot. Good cannon, but again, he's been a little bit unlucky. He's had a couple of those already in this frame. So unlucky not to land on something easier than this.
7.
Couple of options, one to the left middle, one to this right corner. He might even play the safety. Yes, he's prepared to wait.
Luca BRECEL 7.
Both players still finding their way in this opening frame of the evening. Just 3 points between them.
Well, the reds are open now, so one good chance and it could be end of frame. Oh, well, he found one. There's an angle on this brown, though.
1.
Yeah, he's just gone too straight. Great red. Well, there's no way you can take this brown on because he can't get close to the red, so he might just tuck him behind it.
Kyren Wilson 1.
Should have made sure the snooker there, really.
He's a very unflappable character, isn't he, Wilson? I think that's one of his major strengths, Mike, that nothing seems to faze him. He mentioned ahead of the match that he hasn't played his best snooker this week, but he has a winning mentality.
Yeah, and you know, he's a mentor as well in Peter Ebden, who also is pretty ice cold. So we say ice cool, I should say, not ice cold. And obviously that has rubbed off onto Kyren.
Poker-faced.
Well, I suppose you could say that we're still waiting for this opening frame to sort of unfold, really. 5 reds remaining. Just 2 points in it. Caught those well. And he's freed up the black. Now that should make things easier. Yes, nicely done.
Bit of a stalemate at the moment, a battle of attrition in this opener. Let's get the views of Rocket Ronnie on what he's seen so far.
Yeah, it's a kind of edgy sort of start from both players, but again, I think where neither of them have been on the match table before, I think their touch is just letting them down. It's not that their touch is bad, it's just trying to adjust from playing on a slow table to a lightningly quick table. So for me, it's whoever adjusts better will probably win this match, and at the moment it looks like Luca is getting the better pace judgment in the shots. So you know, it's a tricky one, but it is early days, and maybe they are just feeling each other out, and let's hope that the game catches fire.
Well, we thought the frame had just opened up a little bit, but now it's been tied up again with the black there.
Well, I guess what a scrappy frame like this does allow the players to do is get a feel for the conditions. They're both having lots of shots, and that might help them to adjust to the lightning fast situation on this main match table. It is significantly quicker than the outside tables that these players have played on during the week. So a chance to get a feel for the situation. But the scrappy frames are every bit as important as the ones won in one visit. In fact, they can often determine the outcome of a match when it goes close. Mark Williams was a past master of winning the scrappy frames, wasn't he, Mike?
Yeah, he was brilliant. He didn't care how he won them. And of course, it's always like little psychological blows as well, aren't they? And when you're sort of winning scrappy matches, and also scrappy frames, I should say, but also when you're sort of winning frames from 50, 60, 70 points behind. Yeah, it's taking a little while for this one to unfold, but it will do.
Well, that underlined what Ronnie O'Sullivan said, that BRECEL has perhaps got the pace a little quicker than his opponent. He played that superbly well, and Kyren Wilson, the first to acknowledge an excellent safety. Snookered on all reds by the looks of things.
I wonder if he's got the angle here just to nudge open the black in potting this red. Perfect. Cannon into the red, free up the black. Oh, well, I assume that's what he tried to play, but he's stunned it and missed the red. He's just put himself under a little bit of pressure with his pink. Oh, that was poor, really. I mean, what a chance he had there.
Luca BRECEL, 1.
That's really poor.
It looked relatively straightforward, didn't it, to release the black? A lot of nerves out there.
Well, he's played the red hard enough to try and release the red, but he's played it too hard and missed it altogether.
But he's got another chance straight away.
Amazing. I think Kyren was thinking that might come back on the bezier, the cloth, but these tables stay pretty straight these days on these fine cloths. Another chance to possibly release the black. No, he's gone the other way for the blue. And once more, that is a little bit careless. He should be on the blue better than this. could take the green on. Nice putt.
Four.
Terrific putt there. Could have done with the cue ball a little bit further off that cushion though, because to get anywhere near the open red, he might have to play this with topspin off 2 cushions. This is a great effort. Well done. Well, now then, there's a choice to be made. He could go full-blooded for this and try and release the black.
That would be some shot, wouldn't it? Significantly more difficult than the attempt to release the black just now, if he goes for it. The pot's tough enough as it is.
And of course, if he misses it, he'll leave everything on for Kyren. Well, he's played it with a slight bit of stun there, just to avoid the red and black, but he's left it up.
Luca BRECEL, 10.
And he can get back for the blue here and release red and black.
£13 points the difference then in BRECEL's favour. Still 43 there.
Yes, he was wanting to get as straight as possible on this blue without going too far, and it looks a perfect angle to release the red and black. 12 points behind. Well, this now could be the key shot in this opening frame. Can he release the red? He has done. Oh. What about that? He caught enough of the black. I didn't think he was going to play it that way, but that will do.
6.
Just gone a little bit straight on the blue.
Yes.
I don't know whether he's got any angle at all here. Referee Alex Grisan is just cleaning the white, but he's got a shot on the black as well. Also the pink, but the pink is tough. He might be able to just power this blue in here. Well, he's got some angle. He could power this in with top spin and right-hand side. Yes, it's a natural angle from the black here. This is all about pace. Just get that cue ball to that back cushion. Don't hit the blue. Well, he's gone a little bit straight on this green. He needed some angle to just stun over for the brown. He wants to play the brown. Well, actually, he might be able to just get onto this brown into that corner pocket off the side cushion.
Leads up to and including the blue to clinch this opening frame, which is nearly half an hour old.
Yeah, just wondering here, Phil, if he's got the angle. I think he has, just to avoid the pink, but let's see if he can get himself onto this brown. Great effort. Oh, well done. Well, unfortunately for him, I think he landed straight on the brown as well. He's working really hard for these. He's doing his calculations. He knows he needs brown and blue, but can he get anywhere near the blue? He might have to leave the blue into this bottom right-hand corner.
It will be some clearance, this, to clinch the frame.
Well, he couldn't do much more than that.
23.
Doesn't even need to bother with the pink, of course, just knock the blue in.
You made it sound easy.
I fancy him for this. Yeah, he just overdid it with a cue ball a little bit there, didn't he? But this is okay. He's got the hand on the table. Expect him to knock this in. This is frame ball.
Could scarcely have been closer. Has he got lucky? Yes, he has.
Kyren
Well,
Wilson, 23.
looks like he has anyway. Very, very close.
Yeah, and that was a great effort, wasn't it? All those pots he put in there, but it just landed straight on the yellow, the green, the brown. But I'm sure Luca happy to be still in this frame.
10 points between them. BRECEL needs all three. Wilson just requiring the blue.
Yeah, just coming up to 32 minutes this frame. Doesn't want to release the pink. Didn't really want that. He only needs the one ball, but of course Luca now, I'm sure, will have a go at this blue. Didn't want to get anywhere near that pink.
The clearance is a lot easier for the Belgian if he can knock the blue in.
Yep, and it's a natural angle to get back for the pink. No. Well, a similar shot here then for Kyren. And of course for him, it's frame ball. He'll be having a go at this. Well, that was a mile away. Absolute mile away. And it depends where they finish. He's got lucky again. Yeah, he's just put his hand up there to apologise. That's twice he's got away with it. Well, if he keeps doing this, he'll leave them up. I just wonder whether Luca might have a go at this blue down into this corner pocket, go across for the pink. He likes to attack. We know that. He might fancy that one. No, I think he's again going to wait. Can't blame him. Play that well. Yeah, that's perfect. Good pace. And there's only left half of the blue on, so this is a little bit tricky here for Luca to get this safe. Just play the double into the yellow pocket, Phil, clear up. Those are the days.
there was a time when BRECEL would probably have contemplated that option. I think he's matured a little.
Well, now then, another choice to be made here by Kyren. Does he go for this? Well, there's your answer, because he's checking the potting angle. The third chance then to wrap up this opening frame. Amazing. Can't get himself over the line. And again, he's got away with it.
It was a tough pot. He fancied it though.
You know, I'd play the double here. Phil, play the double. Stun down to the top cushion with the white. The pink would be still on.
And again, erring on the side of caution. Well, there you go. It's been a marathon. There's a possible 10 after this.
He's nearly fluked it. Oh! Now, is this cuttable? I think it is. Poor shot, really, from Kyren.
Very nearly the winning shot.
Yeah. The thing is, Luca's got to hit this so thin, but he might be, the cue ball is going to be travelling towards the pink. And anything could happen. He could glance off the pink and going off. Oh, he's managed to avoid the blue. Well done. But slow down, anywhere but the back cushion. Well, look at that.
5.
Oh.
Great positional shot.
What a tense end to this opening frame. And he's not finished yet.
We've had enough drama for a whole match. Well, this is far from straightforward. Just the safety.
It's nearly the snooker.
Luca BRECEL, 5.
Unlucky. Great effort. Well, now, Kyren's had 3 chances to win this frame on the... Sorry, Kyren, I should say, not Kyren. Some apologies at home to the family. And he's had 3 chances to win this frame on the blue, and now he finds himself under pressure. Nicely done. Just a little bit pacey. This table is so quick, Phil, isn't it? It's got quicker as the week has gone on, of course.
Yep, it's lightning. And that pink is possible. But he needs both balls, of course.
Yeah, it's going to have to go around the table here. And there could be a couple of pockets waiting for the cue ball. Oh, unlucky. Could do with a knuckle. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Oh, would you believe it? Is anything else going to happen in this opening frame? He's nearly had it all. You know, unbelievable. How has he got away with that? And they're both smiling.
Yeah, I think Wilson's smile is fake, though.
You lucky person, you.
Well, BRECEL must have feared the worst when he missed the pink, and he didn't miss it by much. But he looked a certainty to leave it up. Instead, he's got a snooker out of it. This packed crowd at the Templedrum already getting value for money. Nearly 40 minutes now, and still we don't know the outcome of this opening frame.
Caught it well. Good angle, good pace. Yes, well done. There's a possibility of cutting the pink into the green pocket. I wonder. Well, it might be just up and down with the pink.
Looks a bit too thin, doesn't it? Would certainly be risky.
He's having a look, you know, Phil. He's gone round to have a look at the angle. I think he's made up his mind to have a go at this. He would come down for the black. He has. Ooh, unlucky. This feels like a decider. About the first frame of a semi-final.
It's like the Crucible in '85. Pretty good result for BRECEL, having missed that tricky cut pink.
Well, again here, he could play cushion first, get right in behind it with left-hand side. But it looks like he's playing something else. Not bad. Yes, that will do. A cross double, perhaps, to the yellow pocket. If he plays it, as long as he plays it slightly thinner, actually, he'll probably finish up on the back cushion. But I would contemplate the cross double. Well, this is all about pace, and he's left it. And now he probably wishes he'd gone for the cross double. And Kyren only needs the pink. Yet another chance then to put this first frame on the board. 42 minutes, just about.
Overcut it. If we carry on like this, it could be a draw. On we go then. BRECEL still needs both balls. Wilson needs the pink. I could swear he was clean shaven at the start of this match.
Yeah, well, there's some good stuff being played here under the pressure. That's another good one. And again, he's just put the pressure back onto Kyren. With this, it's nasty, isn't it? This is not easy to get safe. Talk about those psychological blows in this game of snooker, Phil, but who's going to land the first one here?
It's one of those frames which is great to win and very tough to lose, isn't it? They've both had chances. It won't live long in the memory for its quality, but so important.
Yeah, brilliant. Great pace, good angle. He's put the pressure back on.
Well, I think they're both used to the conditions now, anyway.
Yeah, they're just playing their way in.
That's not good. Well, it's all about position, surely, on the black here for BRECEL. He needs pink and black to pinch this epic opening frame of our second semi-final.
Well, you can land anywhere here, even if it's on the top cushion. You could take the black to the corner. Just about pace. Has he got it? Has he got it? It looks pretty good, you know. It looks pretty good. Well, this will be an early blow for Kyren Wilson.
Wilson had several chances to close it out, but it's the Belgian who strikes first, eventually. 44 minutes and 55 seconds to be precise. That was a marathon, but they all count equal. And BRECEL will be highly delighted to pinch a frame. He looked like losing. He leads 1-0. One frame down, a possible 10 to go, and we've already been going nearly 45 minutes. I reckon Ronnie O'Sullivan and Jimmy White have won matches in that time. It was a real epic battle, Jimmy, in that opening frame. What did you make of it?
Very impressed with Luca's safety play there, because I thought Kyren Wilson was the strength that he had over Luca would have been his safety play, but Luca played some fantastic safety on the finger black there, and I think because that frame was so long, I think that might have both settled them down and they've got used to the table with the pace, because at the beginning they was all over the place. So hopefully we see some better snooker from now on.
Thanks very much, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm sure the pace will be picked up pretty swiftly now. They both like to go for it, BRECEL in particular, and he may pay the price for going for that one. A nice easy starter for Wilson. A little too thick. Well, we've talked about Kyren Wilson's attitude, his mental strength being one of his great assets, and he will be disappointed at the way he lost that opening frame, having had numerous chances to close it out, albeit with tough pots. None of them were gimmies, but this is an opportunity to show how mentally tough he is. All three matches at the venue this week, remember, have gone the distance, and Wilson has prevailed every time. He's a really tough battler, and he's got a lot of self-belief as well. He's a very confident young lad, and you need to be if you're going to get to the top. Picture of concentration. Is he unlucky? Mike's gone off for a bathroom break after that first frame.
I think he is unlucky. I think he's just covered that red with the other one. Yep, don't think he can pot that one. I think it was more of a lie down, actually, Phil, on the bathroom break.
In a darkened room.
Yeah.
Kyren Wilson, 8.
He's played one there, though. Blocked off the right-hand side. You can see the pack on the left-hand side, but there's that red there, of course, that you might hit. A good steal for him, though, in that opener.
The first meeting between this pair. Never faced each other before, so an opportunity that doesn't come around very often. A chance to play for a major title. The standard is so high these days. Strength and depth on the tour. Have to grab that opportunity when it comes.
No, has he hit that hard enough? It hasn't got there. It's going back. Oh, actually, it won't go back because the miss has been called, but there's a red on here for Kyren. He needed to get that cue ball tight to the pack. That could be a big mistake. Now then, Kyren, you need to hit straight back here. Well, that sounded a little bit heavy for me. I think he's got a slight kick and enough to just throw it offline.
Didn't seem to cue it all that smoothly to me. It may have got a slightly dull contact.
Yeah, I think it's just bumped enough, Phil, to throw it offline. Got the angle to get behind the black as well. Slow down. Snookered himself.
1.
Nothing on there. Will just be a safety.
Green ball. Luca BRECEL, 1.
Now the blue's not on its spot. Normally we say it's covered on the diagonal. Well, there you go. But it's still covered. Well, you might even think about playing the punt here. One to the other. There's some distance between them, though. Oh. Brilliant.
Great pot.
1.
Well, a couple of feet between the two reds.
No prizes for guessing what's coming here.
No. Would be nice to see that one again, though.
Luca BRECEL, 1.
Oh, that's terrific. I mean, anything but the way we hit the second red, and it's going to rattle in the jaws.
It's given him control of the table. BRECEL looks a little more composed at the moment of the two.
Well, that's well short.
Foul and a miss.
The miss has
Luca
been
BRECEL,
called,
4.
but there's a possible red to the middle. Well, he cannot believe he's left the cue ball that short in the reds. Well, there's a half chance here with this red. Stun off 2 cushions for the black. He could play in such a way to cannon into those 2 reds that are together there. He hits the right hand one, that's perfect. That could be what we call a stopper for the cue ball. That's what he's trying. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But is he on this black? I think he might be. Yes, just. I thought that was worth the shot, really, because it was ideal just to stop the white there on the black. We have the long drawn-out opening frame. This might be a little bit quicker now.
9.
Certainly hope so. The highest break in the first frame, just 23. It was a very scrappy affair. And this is the first real opportunity for one of these players to get their hand on the table and
16.
establish some rhythm and fluency.
Well,
17.
everybody was sort of, say everybody, but most people were edging towards Kyren winning here this evening, but you can't discount this lad. He's been playing well all week.
And he showed plenty of fight of his own. We've talked about Wilson's 5-4 victories throughout the
24.
tournament. But remember, BRECEL was trailing Mark Joyce 4-2. Battled back to win. Wilson watches on. Hasn't hit top gear yet by any stretch.
Sorry, a little bit straight on this black. We'll have to go beyond the pink spot to get on one of those reds. Well, I'm not sure if they actually go, so Does he have any angle there to come off 2 cushions? Looks pretty straight on this black. Well, he could force this into the corner, come off top and side cushions into the red. A little bit of right-hand side as well needed. He's going the other way. Great effort. Unlucky.
Certainly struck the red sweetly, got plenty of action on the
32.
cue ball, but not quite enough.
I just thought he had enough angle to go off with topspin there, full of 2 cushions, but he obviously didn't fancy it.
Luca BRECEL, 32.
To put him 26 in front. Well, it is a great venue. We've said it many times before, but it bears repeating. Fantastic arena for snooker.
Yes, they've got the pace now. Ooh, but on the thick side. Well, he's been a little bit fortunate not to leave that red on the right-hand side there. I think he's covered it. He hasn't. We might see Kyren having a go at this one. Yes, well done.
1.
Wasn't clean, but it went in. That was the main thing. Still got the problem, though, from this blue to get onto the next red. Probably the one on the black spot. Going close. Well, there's one just left of the pink that's available as well, I think. But he got the top spin on the cue ball there, but not the side spin. That does go, but he was hoping to get just beyond the middle pocket. Well, this is a big shot to take on here because he's going to be opening up everything else.
It wasn't easy. It's just not happening for Wilson at the moment.
Kyren Wilson, 6.
One could pot here, and BRECEL could be in business.
Yes, it was ideal, really, to play the camera into the pink for the green. Slightly hampered here, but he should get this.
Four.
Well, a great chance here
Five.
for the young Belgium to make it 2-0. And this best of 11, second semi-final this year's German Masters.
Already 25 points to the good. Plenty of open reds.
Just got to take a little bit of care with this one though, because it could go wrong. Twice across for the reds, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's well played.
$11. $12.
Brecel never been
18.
to a ranking final, remember. Made the semi-finals of the Welsh Open last season
19.
where he lost narrowly to John Higgins, former quarter-finalist at the UK Championship, when he really came to public prominence. A couple of good wins at the Barbican that year. But this is the biggest match of his life.
Yeah, so we've just gone
25.
past the iron mark, just for 2 frames. But this one has been much quicker, of course.
26.
That was frame ball, only 43 left. It's going to be 2-0 to the Belgian. Extra insurance with the pink, no heroics.
32.
As things stand, Wilson requires 3 snookers. I'm sure he won't come back if this goes in. But it stayed out, so he'll battle on.
32.
Should be enough from Brecel to double his lead.
Needs to make sure of the pink here.
$7.
This might be good if he misses the yellow. Oh, unlucky. Just caught it, actually, but this might not be bad for Kyren because I think Luca might free up the black. Can't really avoid it. It's going close. Just applied the brakes in time.
$45 the difference, 35 remaining.
I think he's left it.
This to make absolutely sure then.
He's played a good frame here, Luca. It's obviously totally different to the opening frame.
$8. Thank you.
Could make his third 30 break of the frame here. A couple of 32s already, possible 35 available here.
13. 17.
The perfect
22.
start for the marginal underdog coming into this match. Kyren Wilson, who of course already has a ranking title to his name, was considered the favourite for his greater experience of the big occasion, but it's BRECEL who settled the quicker of the two. And he's posing a few early questions for his opponent. Good stuff from the young Belgian. Luca BRECEL doubles his lead. The ideal start to his bid for a first ever German Masters final appearance. Kyren Wilson's got 1 or 2 early problems to solve. He trails by 2 frames to 0. Kyren Wilson has looked a little edgy. Marathon opening frame, which could have gone either way, went to the final black.
Thank you. Third frame. Luca BRECEL to break.
3:30 breaks from BRECEL to take the second in rather swifter time. 2-0, the first to 6 to face Martin Gould in the title match tomorrow.
Just shows you, Phil, doesn't it? You know, 3:30 breaks. It doesn't matter how you win the frames.
No flash, please.
Many ways to win frames of snooker.
That's a terrific opening red. Ronnie O'Sullivan, of course, continuing to watch this one with us. And Ronnie, we've talked this week about how mentally tough Kyren Wilson is. Even when he's not playing at his best, he's a real competitor, isn't he? He's going to need all of that now. Yeah, no, definitely. I think you can be assured of one thing, that Kyren is just going to stick to his game plan. Obviously, it's not the greatest to start for him, 2-0 down. Quite a bad first frame to lose. It was a long one, and having lost it on a safety battle. Luca played a fantastic frame there, really. You know, looked very confident and fluent, but Kyren is definitely, you know, he's hungry for success, and, you know, this is a great opportunity for him to play in the semi-finals of a major tournament like this in such a great venue. And he's just going to dig in and fight. And but like I said, I think Luca just looks like he's got the pace of the table just that much better. And I think that's what's given him, you know, making him make the early runnings. But, you know, it's 2 sides to this game, so he's had a good start, and Kyren will be looking to get a bit of a foothold in this game. Well, this is a decent opportunity off that excellent opening red for Wilson to find some rhythm. Nothing in the way of breaks from him so far.
He's got a perfect angle on the black here to disturb the reds. Always need a little bit of luck with these. Well, has he seen something I haven't? Go to the corner, that's fair enough. He did say it's a fast table.
It needed to be there, didn't it?
12.
It's what's known as a dead weight shot. Just reached the pocket.
Down for the blue, and then into the pack. I think he's missed it. That's a pity, because he's just getting himself into a good position there.
Bit of extra pressure on those now, though. 2-0 adrift, yet to get a foothold in this semi-final. Long way to go, though. First to 6, there's a bit more breathing space. It's been best of 9, of course, up until the semi-finals. Now best of 11, and then best of 17 over 2 sessions for the trophy tomorrow.
This looks pretty good. Yeah, that's nicely done. I think Kyren can just see, well, he can't see that one, but I think he can see the one on the right-hand side near the top cushion. Yes, no problem. He's got to hit this well, though. A little bit too thick, and he's only just got the white past the blue spot. He's left this on for Luca. At the moment, it's Luca that's making the winning.
1.
And he'll be aware that his opponent is struggling a little at the moment, and he'll want to make full capital of that, build himself a nice commanding lead if he can, because Wilson, as we've already discussed, is a bit of a comeback kid this week. 4-1 down, nearly out to Rory McIlroy, found a way to win. Likewise last night, after a marathon day for him, 2 very long matches, came back from 4-2 behind to beat Ryan Day, so he's more than capable of mounting a fight back.
5.
Well, this frame and one more before the mid-session interval, but Kyren's got to get at least one of those, if not 2. Thought that way.
6.
And, as you mentioned, Phil, Luca would have picked up on this and thinking, well, hang on, I'm just going to push on here. He's looking confident, and he has done all week.
11.
It's all about bullying your opponent, this game, isn't it? Keeping your foot on the throat when they're down, being ruthless.
That's it,
12.
not opening the door at all. And that's what the great players have done over the years.
Brecel had rather lost his way for a couple of seasons. He'd fallen off the radar, really, after the early
18.
promise that he showed, and I think he'd be the first to admit that perhaps he got a little complacent in terms of the amount of practice he was
19.
putting in. He had a bit of a wake-up call, I think. Was back with Chris Henry as coach, and I think Chris told him a few home truths, and he realised that to realise his huge potential, he had to knuckle down, and that's what he's done. And the results are there for all to see.
24.
Currently at 36 in the world. That's a career high ranking, but he's bound to rise again after this tournament.
Now then, which way are you going to go here? We play a little stun shot into the pack. Well, the 4 reds, I thought they looked like there was 2 of them. Was a plant into this right corner. He's just checking that now. Oh, I think they're masked to the middle. We've had a quick look at those to the left centre. You could play off 2 cushions with a white and try and disturb something. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. You can stand there all day and not do that again.
30.
Very unlucky to find the gap.
You know, I was just about to say that, Phil, when that white was going there. Don't find the gap. Huh. And he still has a pot on here, but it should have been something easier. Yes, well done.
What a terrific recovery pot that was.
Yeah.
31.
Brilliant.
He made that look a lot easier than it actually was.
Of course, with the last shot, when he potted the blue, he opened up these 2 reds.
36.
He's playing some good stuff here now. Played a solid frame in the last. He knows he's on top, slightly on top. It's a long way to go, but he wants to keep this going.
And it shows the importance, Mike, doesn't it, of that opening frame,
37.
which
Yeah.
was so long, so scrappy, very edgy, nervy stuff. But whoever won that, you fancied, was going to settle. And that's kind of what's happened. It could easily have been Wilson doing this had he potted that pink on the occasions he had to kill the frame off.
We see so many matches, don't we? We have seen them over the years where a player has taken a frame like that and it's the player that's lost it that the match seems to go away from them slightly. And it could do here. This could be 3-0 and perhaps 4-0. Who knows? Because Luca now is looking very confident indeed. He's settled into the conditions.
42.
30 points, his advantage. Still 75 there at the moment. He's looking good.
43.
Wrong side of the blue, though.
Might have to play the brown. Unless there's any plants on. I wonder. Will that go into that corner?
Brown ball.
Yes, he's playing the brown to disturb things. Now, he's had a look at these two reds to the left middle a few minutes ago. That's obviously what he's played on.
47.
Checking them again. I think that's on, and I don't think the other red is blocking the path. He's got to be careful here, of course, because he does know that he's going to be opening up all the reds, but if this goes in, a great chance to win the frame. Here we go. Yep, bang in the middle. It's okay. He's got a putt on the green. He looked at this a few minutes ago.
Lead goes to 36. 59 now remaining. So he's not far away from extending his lead to 3 frames.
Just wonder where this green's going to go, though, Phil. Is the pink spot available? That could spoil the party. If not, it will go this side of its own spot. He's just checking that now. That single red goes to the left middle, but it depends if the pink spot is available. Left-handed. Not bad.
Luca BRECEL, 48.
Highest break of the match so far. 36 his advantage. Still playing.
Set to the right corner here, because if he takes the cue ball down to baulk, he's going to have to cover those reds. I think he's just going to disturb them, go the other way. Oh, hang on, hang on. Oh, wow, what about that one? Huh. When they were, all 4 reds were together a few minutes ago, they both looked fairly set, and I thought those two had been disturbed. Obviously not.
Well, in one shot, he's given himself a chance to pinch this frame,
which he badly needs.
Well, there's a bit of pressure on this attempted clearance, but he normally stands up to pressure very well. But he hasn't got into the pink at all.
No, it's kicked, I think, Phil. I think it's completely stopped. I think the pink has jumped off the table.
You tend to get luck like that when you're struggling a bit, don't you?
7.
Yeah, it's bounced, and the white has stopped.
Still on the red, but not as straightforward as you would have liked. That's what he thinks of it. What a frame this would be for him to win, though. It was looking like BRECEL was moving 3-0 up and halfway to a place in the final. If he can pinch this, very different complexion on the match.
Could still be 2-2 at the interval.
he's missing a few too many at the moment. Is the reigning Shanghai Masters champ, and he's absolutely furious about it.
Yeah.
Doubly so because he's left this red. What a chance for BRECEL for a 3-0 lead.
1.
Well, he should be. So look at this again, and he just threw the mini butt down in disgust under the table. Not surprising.
And that opening frame that we've been discussing takes on ever greater significance. A rueful grin.
4.
Well, he's going to have to just blank all of this out now, Kyren, and just put all of his efforts into frame 4. Get into that get into that interval, I should say, at 3-1. It's not too bad. We've seen matches 10 before after the interval.
Well, he's been fighting back all week, hasn't he? So he's going to have to do it again.
11.
It's familiar territory for him.
Yeah, 4-0 though. And then it was the best of 11, and Luca's getting more confident with every ball.
Yeah, you've got to think realistically that Wilson has to win the next frame to maintain a realistic chance of turning things around.
17.
BRECEL, though, marches on.
19.
He'll be delighted.
22. 26. 31. 37.
So Luca BRECEL tightens his grip on this semi-final. Kyren Wilson just not performing at the moment. He's got to have to raise his game several notches, otherwise his hopes of the German Masters title will be over. Luca BRECEL leading 3-0. Trouble for Kyren Wilson, the reigning Shanghai Masters champion. Started as the slight favourite this evening, but he's not favourite now. Luca BRECEL has shown tremendous composure to lead 3-0. He's halfway to a place in the final tomorrow.
Kyren Wilson to break.
Showdown with Martin Gould, conqueror of Graham Dodd earlier on today.
Well, 3 times this week already he's done the Houdini act to get out of some of his matches. He's going to have to do it again.
And this is a seismic frame. He surely has to win it.
4-0 behind with Luca looking very confident indeed. I'm not sure. 3-1 still has a chance.
He's getting the running, and that tends to be the case when you're in the ascendancy.
Yes, he can see this left-hand red. And when you are getting that running film, you just take full advantage because you never know when it might turn around. Might have left that to the middle. A few applause, but this might pass the pink.
Not showing much in the way of emotion, although he did show his anger in the previous frame when he missed that relatively straightforward red, which gifted BRECEL the frame and the 3-0 lead.
This will go. Oh. How well has he cleared that? To run through the pink as well. Brilliant.
Growing in confidence with every passing pot. Here's BRECEL.
Nicely ran off the red, not the pink, but you're absolutely right, Phil. He certainly is. He's looking good. 2 cushions into the pack. I think there might be red at the back, but I think he might try and get these open. Oh, no. Careless.
On such shots can matches turn.
Luca BRECEL 1.
That was pure carelessness. Looking to split the reds asunder. Well, he's not done a bad job of that, but he forgot to pop the blue. And he's gifted Kyren Wilson a lifeline in this match that he shouldn't really have had. What can he do with it?
Yes, but we said that, you know, it's all about table time, actually. But to be honest, looking at our stats, I mean, Kyren still had 47% of the table time. We caught 53, but he just hasn't capitalised on his chances. But here's another one. Keep mentioning it, but just get this one on the board. Get into that interval and regroup.
Thank you.
Yes, and if he was to do the business here, although he'd still be 2 frames adrift, I think he'd go into that mid-session break with a spring in his step. On the other hand, BRECEL would feel as though he'd let him off a little bit, having gifted him this chance with that careless error. Plenty still to do, though.
Well, needs to leave a good angle on the black here to get into the pack. Could leave the white high. That's not the perfect angle, because now he's going to have to power this black in to get into the reds.
If he pots the black, it'll be his highest break of the match. It'll give you an indication of the degree to which he's struggled so far this evening. My goodness, he very nearly saw the white land on the carpet there.
Well, for me, he didn't play the red very well into the middle. He just left himself too much to do there. He should have just held the white instead of coming off the side cushion and left the white a lot higher. Can do nothing here but play safe.
Kyren Wilson, 24.
23-point lead, but he would have hoped for far more. Not a great safety from BRECEL. He knew as soon as he'd hit it that he'd overcooked it. No pressure on Wilson's return.
Just got to be careful here, though, that he doesn't push anything towards that corner pocket. This looks pretty good. He's pushed the red to the other corner pocket, but he hasn't got the cover.
Applause, but Wilson drags himself back to his chair again. It's half a chance for BRECEL. He's got to try and be clinical here, BRECEL. He's got his opponent down, and Wilson is still struggling with his game. He can't afford to become in any way complacent. Could come back to haunt him later.
That's unlucky. That's amazing. I mean, I think he snookered himself in the yellow. He snookered himself on the blue. Oh, he's on the yellow. I thought that would have gone tight to the brown.
Yeah, I think if he hadn't been on the yellow either, he'd have launched that cue into the crowd.
Oh. Well, it would have been unlucky, of course, if he hadn't landed on something. But that's not too clever. Needed a touch more.
3.
I wonder if mentally Wilson is running a bit low on reserves. He's been through the mill in all of his matches so far, and some of them have been pretty long. Some late night finishes.
Yeah, possibly.
Kyren Wilson,
He's played
3.
one there, though. This is one of these occasions where you just have to stick in there, you know, and see what happens. Things are not going well for him at the moment. Just, again, just get this one on the board. You never know what happens in the second half of the match. And that's well short.
Foul and a miss. Kyren
Yeah,
Wilson, 4.
BRECEL has lost a bit of concentration in the last few minutes as well.
Well, a miss has been called, but I think Kyren will take this red on. There's no point in putting it back because it might finish up in the pack. It's worth having a go at this one.
30-point lead at the moment.
Depends where it finishes. And that's not good. Things are not going well for him.
He's been rattling the jaws with those longer pots all evening, hasn't he? But they're just not disappearing. Close, but not close enough.
I think Luke is going to try and get this white tight to the back cushion here, because then he'll have the angle on the blue to get into the pack. Unless he plays on one of the bulk colours, of course. Yeah. He's okay.
1.
He's got a perfect angle on the brown. He needs to hit this pack just below the pink.
And don't forget to pot the brown.
Hang on, hang on.
Oh,
Well, he had a look at that, Phil. There was nearly set. He came around and had a look at that, but he's caught them too high. He needed to hit the pack lower. I think they were set before he played that. So that was a little bit of a mistake.
One. Yeah.
another heavy contact by the looks of things. Well, he certainly hit the pack well.
Well, that's poor management for me. He should have made sure that he had a look at that properly, because he must be thinking any contact like that, that red might go in.
Wilson really has to make this chance count. He's had a couple already. Useful lead, but by no means decisive yet. Had he got the split of the bunch correct and not seen a red disappear, BRECEL might have given himself a chance of a 4-0 advantage. As it is, Wilson with the opportunity to close to within 2.
Yeah, it's in a good angle here to get into the reds. Well, there's enough. You could just catch 1 or 2 on the way through. He could have done with more angle.
$14.
Again, this time
15.
he just had the better angle to get into the reds. I thought he might go down for the blue there, but chose to play on the pink. And it had to be perfect, and I think it is. Another chance to open up the reds then. He's having to work hard for these. There is one there.
21.
Well, he only needs one more red and a highish value colour. Limping towards his first frame of the semi-final.
22.
The pink will suffice to stop the rot, barring snookers.
All he knows, he's thinking that he could do with another red here. That's why he's looking at the blue.
Blue ball.
Still frame ball.
Well, he might as well play the pink now.
I
27.
think the mid-session interval can't come soon enough for Wilson. But it looks as though he's got a frame, and he'll look to regroup.
Only one snooker, though. Imagine if Luca pinched this one as well. Oh, he could be in bits, half-time.
Kyren Wilson, 27.
So 60 the difference, 59 on. Wilson the favourite, but he's not convincing at the moment.
No, and the thing is, the black is safe, but Luca doesn't need, well, he will need a couple of blacks, I think, looking at that. One snooker required. But he could push this in behind the blue. Well, that's careless. If he's left this red on, that's really careless. I'm not sure whether that was a kick. It didn't go through, but a chance for Kyren to wrap up this fourth frame. And he will be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, he's played pretty poorly, frankly, so far tonight. But 3-1 wouldn't be too bad. And it's just about gone in, having thought long and hard about it.
Yeah, that was a sympathy vote, that one. He won't care at this stage.
Just relieved to get a frame on the board. Well, there's only 51 remaining now, so Wilson's surely done enough.
Four.
I think relief will be the overriding emotion, but there's not much about his performance so far this evening that'll please him. But so often we've seen the mid-session interval bring about a big change in momentum. Wilson will hope that's the case.
Kyren Wilson, 4.
Luca BRECEL has had enough of frame 4. Well, BRECEL lost that session by and large, and it could have been even better for the Belgian. He had a few chances in that fourth frame, but Kyren Wilson, without playing anywhere near his best, has stopped the rot, but still trails 3-1.
Might make all the difference, the difference between 4-0 or 3-1. Kyren Wilson has a frame to his name. Studio analysis comes next. Backstage at the mid-session interval. Like your questions for the three illustrious men to my left. So if you have one, use the hashtags Ask Ronnie, Ask Jimmy or Ask Foldsy to put your questions to the men. Ronnie, that just might be the foothold that Kyren Wilson needs.
Yeah, he needed to get a frame on the board. I mean, first one he had a good chance to... Should have really won that one. Second and third frame, Luca got into a bit of stride, a bit of rhythm. Although it wasn't heavy scoring, he was potting confidently. And I think Kyren looked a little bit under pressure there at 3-0 down. So to manage to nick that one, he's done well, really. So at 3-1, he's feeling a bit happier. You know, 4-0 would have been a massive... You know, in your own mind, you think, you know, I can't really make any mistakes if I'm going to win this match.
The odd thing is it's been a kind of patchy, scrappy encounter, which I thought might suit Wilson more than BRECEL, but in fact, it's the Belgian who stretched in front.
I was impressed with Luca BRECEL's safety game on the pink and black the first frame, because he should have won that Kyren Wilson should have won that. He missed the blue, which we thought was in, and he managed to contain the safety on the pink and black and ended up getting a good opportunity, and he took it and won the first frame and got stronger and stronger.
And a bit like last night, that last frame before the mid-session interval, it kind of seesawed, didn't it, between the two? Had opportunities, both players, and mistakes made.
Yeah, and he was a bit unlucky a couple of times in that frame. I think what I've seen so far, Kyren Wilson's a little bit uptight, I think, and I think his snooker hasn't been absolutely at his best, and Luca has been a bit more free-scoring and free-flowing. He's been looser. This was a loose shot, actually, talking of that. I mean, that is a bad shot. I mean, there is no excuse. He's thinking about...
He's unlucky here with the plant, but that ready potted in the middle was the previous shot. You know, look, it was such a great cueing shot, and to miss the blue, you know, you just can't do that at this level, can you?
No, and you can sense that Kyren's a little bit, as I say, tense. Even that just crept in. The frame was won then. I don't know, maybe he's just carrying on the way he's played this week. He's not been in his best. He's been battling hard. I don't know if that's going to be quite good enough tonight, because Luca he's just loose, and he's enjoying himself out there more, and he looks the more adventurous of the two, and that's going to count for a lot.
And whether he was watching our masterclass on rest or left-handed play yesterday, I don't know. Perhaps he should have watched a bit closer. He tried a little left-handed, did Luca?
He hit it all right, you know.
Well, he missed.
I know, but he's still struck the ball pretty decent, you know. I mean, it is with his hand that he wouldn't normally use, so... But, you know, he's a multi-talented player. I mean, he can, you know, to play left-handed like that, you know, he looks like he does it pretty well.
Do you think there was a point made by Philip in commentary that because of the tight encounters that Kyren Wilson's had over the last 3 or 4 days, that the kind of mental fortitude just might be waning a bit?
But also he's waiting to have a fizz to play well as well. Like, he's 3-1 down now. He's won the last game. He's completely struggled in the whole match. It'd be interesting to see if he went in the practice room and practiced. I think he probably did. We'll find out. If he wins the next game 3-2, he's back in the match. And he hasn't really played at all in these 4 frames that I've seen.
No, he's never off the practice table as well. I mean, outside of now, I understand why he'd do it. But, you know, I've been here a couple of mornings, and he's been in there with his coach straight away. And it's all very diligent and leaving no stone unturned. So everything he's doing is right. He's just not playing as well as he can.
So Luca BRECEL in front, Bush to Sponge in Berlin behind us. So do get your questions in, meanwhile, via the hashtags. Ask Ronnie, ask Jimmy, ask Folsey. We'll try and answer some in the interval if we can. A 3-1 lead for the belt. Questions have been coming in. Thank you very much for those. I'll pop a few to the boys. Ronnie O'Sullivan, can you beat 5 minutes and, was it 20 seconds for a 147?
No.
That's simple.
Impossible.
Impossible. And if you were Kyren, Ronnie, what would you be doing in the interval?
I'd probably just have a cup of tea and relax. You know, I don't see what hitting more balls is going to do for you. I think you just got to go out, just have faith in your ability, and just get out there and just start trying to boss the game. Because if you can start bossing the game, then that puts your opponent under pressure. Chances will come easier for you. Start putting a few points on the board, and you can quickly win 3-4 frames on the spin, you know, and turn the match around.
One for you, Jimmy. How would you rate these 3 players' chances at the World Championships at the Crucible in April, given that they've obviously performed well here?
Well, obviously, the winner of this tournament will go into the Crucible with a lot of confidence. But on the performance tonight, you know, they do well to win it.
One for you, Neil. Is BRECEL a future top 8 player, and who is the outstanding young talent emerging from the game for you?
Well, I think he is a top 8 player in the making. You never quite know how anyone's career is going to go. He's got a bit of work to do. I think the lad he beat in his first match here, Zhao Jintong, who's not on the tour yet, left-hander, he is definitely a player for the future. And even more so because he seemed disappointed to lose at the time. He's lost to a man that could be in tomorrow's final, so that's not a bad form line, if you like. They're the 2 for me coming through, one from China, one from Belgium.
And a supplementary to that, viewer asking, how would you rate the standard of play at the moment compared to when you were a young player?
Well, there were some great players. I do think one thing, right? I think the pockets at times were a little bit bigger back then. A lot of the people at my age are not meant to say that. You're meant to say they're very small. I think on occasions the old BCE tails we used were bigger. The standard was good. Steve Davis, we were talking about him early on. You know, he was a great player. There's no getting away from it. He would be up in the top 8, top 10 in the world still now. But there are more good players now.
Another one for you, Ron. How much practice are you planning up to the Welsh Open?
I do maybe 2-3 hours a day. That's enough for me. I just need matches, and once you're sharp, And, you know, if I win my first 2 matches in any tournament, then I can start to build a bit of momentum. But I'm not a big practicer. I find I lose my concentration after about 2 or 3 hours. So I'd rather do quality over quantity and just try and leave a bit in the tank, really, because I'm 40 now. Don't want to use it all up on the practice table.
As young as you feel, mate. Another one for you, Jim, from me. How do you feel about a future career as an inquisitor, as a crack interviewer?
Well, I'm just too good at it. It's unreal. I've had all emails from other companies.
Really? Rivals already?
Listen, it's really nice to talk to these new young lads, you know, even Neil Robertson in there the other day, and when I was with Ronnie, Eurosport during the UK, the way the lads have a different sort of outlook on the game than when we was at our top of the game, you know, it's all about, like, so many different aspects of it, so I enjoyed it.
Another question also that's come for you, have you thought about coaching younger players?
I wouldn't mind managing a couple of players. I like to sort of steer their careers in the right way. I'm not really a coach, you know. I don't know too much about it, really, the technical side. Ronnie was even thinking about he might coach one day.
Yeah, listen, you know, it's great just being on the tour, and if you're not on the tour as a player, then, you know, you'd probably have to look at taking up a coaching role, a little bit like what the tennis players do, like Becker does with Djokovic. They still love the buzz of being around the snooker tournament, and you know, like I said, I was speaking to Luca's dad this morning. He said, "Would you help my son?" I says, "Well, not while I'm playing." I says, "But maybe in another couple of years when I'm not playing." I said, "I'd like to show him a couple of things which I think would improve his game." So yeah, you know, why not?
Who are the best coaches around at the moment, Neil?
We lost one actually a couple of weeks ago, an elderly man, Frank Callan, one of the greats, actually the daddy of them all, I think, in coaching, who maybe taught Terry Griffiths a lot of stuff. There are a number of guys around at the moment. I wouldn't like to say who is the best. I think the Griff, our old pal, we have to mention him because he's a bit of a legend to us as a former player, who knows the technical and the mental side of the game. That's where he's very strong, in my opinion.
Look, I think the players are not far away, might just be re-emerging. Obviously, as soon as they do, we'll pick up the resumption of play. Interesting, the difference you were pointing out between maybe managing and coaching, 2 different roles, Ronnie.
Yeah, you've got to be a businessman to be a manager, and I'm not much of an entrepreneur. I'm not sure I should stand much chance in the Dragon's Den. But as a coach, as a mentor, I think I could add to a snooker player, because I think as a player, you know how difficult this game is. And so you can appreciate that if it's not quite going right, you know, just say, you know, it's one of them days and back to the drawing board.
Here they come then. Kyren Wilson and Luca BRECEL. Is there a way back for Kyren? Let's go back to Philip and Mike.
So the second act of our second semi-final.
Thank you. Frame 5. Luca BRECEL to break.
Luca BRECEL to get us back underway. He'll be pretty happy. If someone had offered him a 3-1 advantage at the outset, he'd have taken it, but he did have a glimmer of 4-0. And Kyren Wilson's ability to just about get over the line in that 4th frame has given him a chance of turning this around, Mike.
Yeah, there was no doubt that that Kyren needed that interval. Perhaps Luca didn't, but both of them have got to refocus now. And the thing is, can Luca push on, or can Kyren here really come back at him strong? He'll be thinking, well, it can't be any worse than it's been already. So it's just on the up and up for Kyren Wilson, really.
His highest break just 27, Wilson.
Amazingly, he's 3-1 behind, and he's had 52% of the table time. The next couple of frames are going to be important as well as interesting.
I'm sure Martin Gould, watching on somewhere after his 6-2 win over Graham Dott, will be more than happy for this pair to continue slugging it out to the small hours.
Absolutely. It's the 17 frames final tomorrow. We're playing 8 frames in the afternoon session, and then a possible 9 in the evening. this crowd here in the Tempodrome in Berlin are fascinated as to how this match is going to unfold. Well, that was a chance.
It was the pace that kept it out.
Well, this is a toughie, but he can land on the black. Well, it seems that he hasn't left this one on. He's just checking to the one that's higher on the black, but that would be a bit risky. Can't take the cue ball down the table, of course. There's red's waiting there. Well, he's looking at this one above the black. No, he's not. He's looking at the other one. Can't get to the potting angle, though. Do you know, I think he's miscued there. He's got away with it. He did. Definitely miscued. Look at this.
Please try to be as quiet as possible when returning to your places. Thank you. Can you please stop that red light that you're having, that you're wearing? Thank you.
Brecel very fortunate, wasn't he, not to leave something as a result of that miscue.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with those two reds up the end of the table, I think we could be heading for a re-rack here. This isn't going anywhere unless somebody makes a bad mistake. There's a possibility, though, if you ever hit this either side of those reds, you could leave one on. To the top cushion, I think. Well, there's a little tempter here to the green pocket, but far too risky. Nearly, but not quite. Well, the red's not the problem, it's just where the cue ball will finish, but if he gets a contact on the red, he should stay on the blue. I couldn't do much more than that, though. Well, he's always a little bit tricky off the side cushion. He's on a look at the green, he's got to play the blue here. Just drop it in dead weight. He's unmissable from that side cushion. Well, he's got more angle on that blue on first thought, so he might come off the top cushion, but it's gone dead weight. We'll play.
Six. Seven.
Well, he could take a risk here and go into the pink full ball and perhaps try and get on one down the table. Top spin, so he's trying to avoid the pack and go down towards the bulk area. And he's caught the red on the way through. And he's been very fortunate to land on that one like that. Just put his hand up to apologise. Didn't play that at all well because he put the blue in the left-hand side of the middle pocket. So he's come off thick.
Didn't have much running in the first mini-session of this semi-final, but he got some there. Can he capitalise on it? No, he can't. Oh, that's criminal, really.
Kyren
Missing those
12.
and he's had the look to stay on that red, but he shouldn't be missing those.
Hasn't been able to establish any kind of rhythm this evening. He's not made a break of 30 yet. He looks tentative, he looks edgy, and it's surprising because he's been all the way this season. Winning the Shanghai Masters in such style as well. Holding his nerve to pip Judd Trump to the post in China. But tonight, he's not come anywhere near to that form. Not yet, anyway.
Yes, this black still needs potting from Luca here, though. Could have done with being slightly high on it. Here you go.
Yeah, BRECEL has lost his way a bit as well.
Luca BRECEL.
It's almost as though they're dragging each other down right now, and it needs one of them to spark to life to inspire the other.
It was just one of those awkward pots, wasn't they? If he gets the white 2 inches higher up the table, it's not a problem. It was a certainty.
Another very good chance for Wilson.
One.
Well, again, that's not perfect on the blue. Might play the brown. Well, I think he's decided on the green. All Kyren can do here is just keep chipping away and then hope that Luca BRECEL will lose his concentration, his rhythm, He's got to try and keep his opponent in his chair. Just build himself back into this match. That's all the way. Well, straight and true. Got a good angle now to get into the pink here to get these reds. Must admit, Phil, I think this table's playing beautifully now. It's got better and better as the week has gone on.
No, didn't catch it as he intended. And it bears repeating that this is Kyren Wilson's first match on the main match table. Luca BRECEL did play on this table earlier in the tournament when he beat Zhao Jintong of China. But perhaps that explains in part why Wilson is struggling to the degree that he is this evening, because it is a lot faster than the tables he has been playing on, which aren't slow, but compared with this one, they're certainly slower. BRECEL opts to put Wilson back in.
Cross double. Well, that's a cheeky one.
No, I wish he hadn't. Well, I think he needs a bit of naughtiness at the moment. Something to spark him into life. Perhaps that's the shot.
And he's landed perfectly on this pink as well to get into the pack. Could have been better. He's fighting the elements here a little bit.
Everything's been a struggle, hasn't it, so far tonight? But he does like a battle, as he's proved time and time again here in Berlin this week. And as he did in Shanghai earlier this season. And that's a very good pot.
That's more like it, and bang in the middle. Shot, but again, look, it could have been on a straighter red to the middle. Those two reds have just gone together. There's still one there,
11.
But it's tougher than probably the other one would have been, I should say. But he can drop this in for the black. I bet he's thinking, give me a break.
Preferably a frame-winning one.
Might be now. That red is gone in. Good recovery.
Takes his lead to 22.
20. $26.
Well, I was about to
Kyren
say,
Wilson, 26.
Wilson's about to equal his highest break of the match. Before he missed that red. Hard to explain.
Yeah, he's not there, is he?
Must be so frustrating. No great damage done, however.
Well, he might have left this one to the middle. If he takes it on, it's the only one he could leave. He could get back in here. Okay, it's not easy, but it's possible. Looks good. Ooh, unlucky. I did say it was the only one he could leave, and Luca might actually come off the back cushion here, try and pot this red. Just left-hand side of the green as we watch the replay. When he's hit it there, I thought that was in. Yes, that's how close it was. Now, will he come off the back cushion? A little bit of right-hand side. Just look at the one near the green now. That looks a little bit too thin for me. He's playing the... I think he's playing... Is he going for this? Well, he did, but he's got a good cue ball. Yes, he's going off the back cushion here with the side to pot this red in the middle pocket. Doesn't look far away. Oh, unlucky. Well, it was a calculated risk.
Brecel might have played that shot, decided against it. Wilson did take it on. It's not worked out. How much damage has he done?
1.
Well, there's still a bit to do to win the frame from this visit. Just too full.
Can you please turn that camera off? You have a white light. Seven. 8.
Chance to at least get back into this frame for Brecel here. Currently 28 behind. It's another big one. The difference between a 3-frame advantage and just one. The way Wilson has played, I think Brecel would be very frustrated to only be 3-2 in front.
I don't think that was too clever either. I don't know whether he has landed on this red
11.
pocket, possibly. Well, he's been a little bit fortunate. Yes.
12.
This whole match, Phil, could be all about this and now, couldn't it? You know, whoever gets this frame, look at that. Just 2 hours.
Average frame time of around 24 minutes. The first one, of course, was nearly 45.
Oh,
this could be a good steal here for Luca. But more importantly, he's played a poor one. I was about to say he could just
15.
really knock the stuffing out of Kyren Wilson.
Well, there's a lot of stake. It's worth remembering that. And there's a small matter of 80,000 euros for whoever lists the trophy tomorrow night. And of course, with a prize money based ranking list now, which reflects the tournaments as they're played. A chance to shoot up the rankings for these two players.
Green ball.
A lot of pressure out there. Nothing's easy.
Luca BRECEL, 15.
He'll certainly settle for that. .21 points, Kyren Wilson's lead. Another critical frame. Another scrappy frame.
Foul and a miss. Free ball. Kyren Wilson, 4.
Free ball. He's got the angle to get back to the reds off the free ball black.
Green ball.
He's taking the green. That's quite gone to plan.
1.
Lead goes to 26. 43 left.
Yellow ball. Three. Kyren Wilson, 3.
Luca BRECEL battling to try and pinch this frame and move within 2 of victory. Kyren Wilson inching his way to within a frame.
Well, this one feels like the opening frame field, isn't it? But you know what I mean, in a different way. It didn't take us, this is not taking as long, but it's as important, really.
Well, it's nearly 28 minutes old and there are still 2 reds left.
He needs that red to stick. That's not bad.
He's having a little bit more running now than he did in the early frames, Wilson. And he needs it because he's still struggling, searching for his form.
Well, it's best to have the running at the end of the match rather than at the beginning.
Again, BRECEL misses the paintwork.
Foul.
Last time he left a free ball.
Free ball.
He's done it again.
Yeah.
Kyren Wilson 4.
And he didn't have to play it that way. Went for the thin edge. He could have played the red towards the pocket, bounced it back onto the back cushion, white down the table. He's taking the black as the red.
Black ball.
And he's only going to need a mid-value colour off this to leave.
Yeah.
Luca BRECEL requiring a snooker. 32 the difference. So yeah, red.
Yeah, he's going to need one of those reds at the table. Yeah,
he's going to need another red. But what a result it would be for Wilson if he can close to within a single frame.
Well, he's landed too straight on the black. I don't know whether he can get anywhere near these reds. I think he's got some angle. In fact, sort of backspin with reverse side.
33 the lead.
He's got enough angle to get down the table. That will do. Only needs this red.
8.
Crowd know the significance of that ball. It's not been pretty by any stretch, but Wilson won't care a jot about that. He's gradually working his way back into this semi-final. Well, he would have liked the green for a bit more insurance. 41 the difference, 35 on, so a couple of snookers now required for BRECEL.
And this looks pretty good. Unlucky. Just a fraction too high.
Hit and hope from BRECEL, but he's left this red, I think.
He's actually conceded the frame, I think. Oh, has he? Well, it might have been an apology, actually.
Couldn't see the potting angle, as it turned out. But 41 the difference. BRECEL requiring 2 snookers to turn this frame around. Not impossible, but pretty tall order. That's one of them.
Problems with these sort of escapes, if you hit them too hard, you can leave a free ball, and too slow, and you can leave a position where you can lay another snooker. Well, that's good judgment off one cushion. It's always difficult off one cushion rather than two, but he could be in trouble again after this one. Cross double. No. That's that. It will be 3-2.
The comeback continues. Kyren Wilson showing Peter Ebdon-esque grit here. A long way from his best. But it's a mark of a very good player when you can stay very competitive even when you're well below your best, and that's what he's doing here. He is fighting for every ball and hoping that he can flick the switch at some point and rediscover the scoring touch that he's shown earlier in the tournament. I'm sure Luca BRECEL will be feeling a little frustrated with the scoreline now, having led 3-0. His opponent suffering a bit, but he's won back-to-back frames, and there's now just one between them. And this match could still have an awfully long way to travel. Luca BRECEL's lead cut from 3-0 to 3-2. 6 the target for a place in the German Masters final. A packed house at the Templedrum, watching a match which perhaps is not going as we might have expected at the outset. It's pretty scrappy, it's pretty nervy, edgy fair so far. The highest break, just 48. Kyren Wilson yet to make 30, but he's won frames 4 and 5, and he's right back in this match at 3-2 down, first to 6, to face Martin Gould tomorrow for the title.
Well, it could be just the case scenario, just getting over the line here this evening, get yourself into the final and then see what you can do tomorrow. Oh, great pot. That's more like it.
He is a terrific potter, BRECEL, when he's at his best.
Eight. 9.
Yes, struck that well.
Not that one, though. Very much the pattern of the match so far.
That's always the problem with Lucas sometimes. I was just talking about the consistency in that. You know, he plays some great stuff and then he misses balls like that. And at this level, you can't do it. If he's going to get to the real top echelons of this game, he's got to cut those out. The great players do not miss those. I've got to say that at times that's Lucas' Achilles' heel, really.
One. Blue ball.
Well, this could be a big shot here. He's taking the blue. Oh. That was a mile away.
Kyren Wilson, 1.
Well, I don't think he's feeling the pressure a little bit. A chance of a major final. Didn't even threaten the pocket.
One.
Well, I'm surprised those stats are as good as they are. Don't recall Kyren Wilson knocking too many in from distance this evening. But look at the pot success. 77 at this level is mediocre. And well
7.
down on what Wilson has produced to get to the semi-finals. The question is whether BRECEL can punish him.
Well, you know, Luca's got a chance here to take this match by the scruff of the neck. It's a question of whether he will do or not.
8.
It's easy when we're sat here in the commentary box, but that's the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. Well, he's pretty straight on this pink. I think he can just hold the white for that red. Pink will go onto the back spot.
$14.
That's clever, because he could have played on the black there, but he's chosen to play on yellow or green to get into the pack. This could be a big shot coming up here, because if Luca can get into the pack and win the frame, that could just reset his mindset. It's got to be said, both these lads going into the pack this evening have not had a lot of running, to be honest. Slightly more towards Luke, I would say, but he's got this red down the top cushion. Not sure if this one goes into the corner. So look at this again. He's not really got into the meat of them, but a little bit unlucky to see them finish there. Yes, he's looking to drop this one in down the top cushion. Checking this one now to the yellow pocket. It looks fairly tight. Well done. Good good.
Very sweetly struck. That'll give him a bit more confidence.
Yeah, I mean, if he wins this frame from here, Phil, he's going to settle him down again, isn't it?
He's not thrilled with that one, though.
Yep.
Slap of the thigh.
Bad contact.
24.
Yes, it did jump a little bit. Just took enough pace out of the cue ball.
$25.
Well, he's on the black. He could play the green here, actually, and just a little stun run through for that red in bulk. Now an opportunity to get the black back into play.
$28. 29.
Still waiting for our first 50 break of the evening. Brecel's done most of the scoring, 3 breaks of 30 plus and a couple of 40 plus.
There's no guarantee here to finish on the red unless those 2 reds to the left corner are a plant. Gonna have to play this one well. Well, they must be. They must be a plant, playing it that. Yes, they're nicely set, and he's coming from the good angle as well. You can just run through onto the pink or the black. There's a little bit of distance between them, but from there, it's perfect. Might even go back for the pink. This is a really good chance here for Luca to put some daylight between him and Kyren again.
$44. 45.
53 the lead, 59 left. So this is effectively frame ball.
I think he needed this, Gordon. He needed this badly, just from his point of view. He's got to call it just resetting everything, you know.
52. 53.
Yes, if Wilson had been able to draw level from 3-0 down, given that he's a long way from his best this evening so far, it would have been a source of great frustration for Brecel, but he's back in charge again with a cushion.
59. Thank you. 60.
By a distance, the best contribution of the evening so far.
Just shows you how responsive these tables are. He's just got a little touch of side on the white there, and he's run out of position, but he won't care missing that one.
67.
Yeah, the frame was long since won, and Luca Brecel will be relieved to have that 2-frame cushion again. Kyren Wilson is still struggling to find anything like his best. And Luca Brecel, with that frame, moves to within 2 of his first ever ranking final. He leads Kyren Wilson by 4 frames to 2. Welcome back to the Templedrum, where we're heading towards the business end of our second semi-final here at the German Masters. We know that Martin Gould will contest the final tomorrow, having beaten Graham Dott 6-2. Who will he face? Well, at the moment, it's looking like Luca Brecel, who's just moved 4-2 in front. It's been a pretty scrappy match, if truth be told. But Brecel certainly deserves that advantage. We now have a whirlwind in the house. Jimmy White has joined us in the commentary box. Jimmy, it's been a bit of a struggle this evening, hasn't it?
It's been a big struggle. You know, Kyren Wilson will be so disappointed at the way he's come out and played, and Luca needed to win that frame to because he was starting to get bogged down a bit as well. But Kyren Wilson's won 3 matches 5-4 in this tournament, so he's far from beat yet, but he has to produce some form.
Still waiting to make a 30 break this evening. That's a measure of how he's suffered.
Just a containing safety shot there. But he's left Luca red in the middle here that I think he might attempt, because he just had a really good frame, and there is a bit of value for bounce in and out of baulk onto a baulk colour. Played it well.
Yes, he managed to strike up a bit of rhythm again, didn't he, in that previous frame? He finished it well.
Yeah, and he also potted 2 or 3 really good long. He potted a very good long red at the start of the game. He only got 9. He missed a black. He might have got a kick on the black, but that would have given him confidence in his cueing. Can't see the next red here unless he bounces off the black cushion, side cushion for the red right of the pink. I think he's just got there.
6.
No, not hard enough.
Ronnie has already made the point this week, Jimmy, that it's a bit of a disadvantage for a player who hasn't tasted the main match table all week when they've been playing on the slower outside tables. And of course, Kyren Wilson hasn't played on this table coming into this semi-final. Do you agree? Is that a bigger disadvantage?
Absolutely. You know, it's very strange. We were talking about it earlier on, that why the players who've not played on the centre table can have, not, you know, be able to have half an hour in the morning when the crowd's not here. It's not hurting anyone, because these tables are faster, and this has showed that if you come off a slow table to play on a fast table, it's you're over it and everything. You know, the other way around is easy to do. So at the moment, Kyren's not used to the table at all, and nor was Graham Dott today. He found that he tweeted how bad the conditions were because he wasn't used to it.
Yeah, it took him 5 frames to get a foothold, didn't it? And by then it was a bit too late.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to think realistically, this is a must-win frame for Kyren Wilson. Yes, he has come back from deficits throughout the tournament, but 3 down with 4 to play, that's a tall order.
Absolutely, especially the way he's playing. You know, he's not scoring as well, so if Luca goes 5-2 up, well, he's just butchered that one. So it's another chance here for Kyren to get going here, is to get the rest out. Pink into the same pocket. And try and string a break together. If he can string a 50 together, you know, that'll settle him down. And of course, he's still in the match at 4-3. Easier said than done.
Indeed. And there's a lot riding on this, isn't there, Jimmy, for both players? I mean, yes, Kyren Wilson's won a ranking event, but, you know, to get to a major final with the standard as high as it is these days, the strength in depth in the game, these opportunities don't come around all that often.
Absolutely. That's why Trump must be, you know, oh, he's missed the red with the rest. Can you believe that? It's just not happening for him at all, I'm afraid. You know, it's also a very big match for tomorrow's finalist,
Martin Gould.
Martin Gould, because we call him the GOAT now, the greatest of all time, so I forget his name. You know, it's a massive match for him tomorrow. If he wins this tournament tomorrow, not only has he won his first major tournament, he's guaranteed a top 16 place, which guarantees him doesn't have to qualify for Sheffield. So there's a lot riding on that match tomorrow as well.
Well, he couldn't have come closer, could he, in Australia earlier this year? 2 for 1 there for BRECEL, pushing John Higgins all the way.
Yeah, he's on the right side of the blue there, so he's got a few choices of reds here. Played on the one behind the black cushion. Doesn't want to be straight.
7.
He'll shake of the head there, but he just screwed this in off the side cushion, a bit of side for the pink in the middle.
8.
Nicely back in control.
There's no doubt that BRECEL has earned this lead. He's played the better snooker. He's looked the more composed of the two this evening, hasn't he?
Yeah, you know, the full frame, I was a bit surprised at full frame. He'd done a couple of, like, unforced errors, you know, not for Kyren Wilson's good play, and it sort of carried on into the next frame, but he seems to be a bit more free curing out the two of them.
Well, is he on this red?
14.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where his next colour's coming from. He's going to have to screw back off this red for the blue, hopefully, or maybe the black. Oops, he's missed it.
Once again, that looked a bit casual.
Yeah, if anything, out of the two players, where Kyren has won a tournament and I think he's more professional. We know he's not playing well at the moment, but he seems to be in more control of himself. Luca, maybe he's a little bit more edgy, you know, he's trying to get it, sort of force it really, than rather just play, because Kyren Wilson's all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, he's never been to a final before BRECEL, so this is a huge opportunity for him as well. Bound to be feeling it out there. So
Absolutely.
much pressure.
Yeah. That's a great shot.
1.
He struck that brilliantly.
He's spotted some good balls at times this evening. What he's not been able to do is then capitalise on them and put together a decisive break.
Yeah, there's been so many mistakes that just, you know, so many, like, sort of schoolboy errors that when they look back on the tapes, they won't believe the amount of mistakes they've made. And I don't know if that's the pressure of the occasion or maybe the table's playing a bit strange. I don't know, but
7.
it's just certainly not been great snooker yet.
Eight.
It's a nice controlled screw there. The red left of the pink. You just drop this pink in, stun that red up for the pink in the same pocket as he's going for now. Good chance this is.
Yes, and as you say, one decisive break, one frame-winning contribution, and that could flick the switch, couldn't it?
Yeah, because I interviewed him early on, you know, and he hasn't really had a sort of a streaky session where he's put, you know, 2 or 3 big breaks together in a match, which most of the top players do nowadays. So he'll be looking to find that. The good situation he's in now that he doesn't have to move the cue ball too far. Just, you know, stunning the balls in. The white doesn't even have to actually hit the cushion for quite a few shots yet, so...
And when you're under the cosh, that's important, isn't it?
Especially, yeah, and if the table's running fast as well, you get a few bounces, you know. So he's got a very good chance here of maybe getting back into the frame where he only needs a couple. There's a couple of reds down by the green are safe, so frame's not over yet.
$22.
Wrong side of the pink. May have got a bad contact there. Might play the plant on the 2 reds up by the green.
Do you think the faster conditions that are played with today, compared with, you know, when you first started in the 80s and 90s, where the cloths are so fine now, aren't they? They're shaved to such a degree. Do you think they are more vulnerable to kicks?
Yeah, absolutely. We played a fantastic shot there. We didn't get hardly as many kicks. Nobody knows the answer to the kicks. We'll try everything they can to find out. But these fast cloths, you know, we will have tables at, you know, in the local clubs where we try and get the conditions exactly the same, but they only last for about 3 weeks, so you're forever changing the cloth. But if you're playing well, you know, when you see O'Sullivan playing well on these cloths, you know, you can literally make the white sing, so it works 2 different ways. It looks like it's got 2 dead straight on the pink there. Not quite sure if he can stun it across. Yeah, he can. He's got an angle. That's a very good chance now.
Well, it's already his highest break of the match, 29.
Well, it's very strange. You know, if he's wins this frame and to be 4-3 down, he'd be feeling a lot better than Luca because he has 35. Not played at all yet.
Yeah, the only way is up, really, you would think, for Wilson.
Yeah, and Luke, you know, Luca, that in the full frame, he potted that fantastic red and then missed the blue, and then he had the brown that potted the plant. You know, these things are, they niggle at you sometimes when you're in chair. Oh, what a kick that was. It's worked out. Well, he's going to have to get everything out here. The long spider, the step ladders.
Scaffolding.
The whole lot. Maybe a crane.
Yeah, that was very unlucky. Very bad contact, which has cost him the position he wanted.
There's been quite a few kicks this week, though, isn't there? On the outside tables, the lads were telling me that, you know, in some games they'd have 10 or 12 kicks in one frame.
It's pretty warm out there as well. I wonder if that has a bearing on it.
It's pretty warm in this box.
It's extremely warm.
Aircon in here?
No, we tried a fan last year and it was too noisy.
Is that to do with the budget, is it?
Well, you know, now that Eurosport have hired you and Ronnie, they've got no money left.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just here for Ronnie, a bit of company.
Well, he's played that well.
Yeah. Also, I think it's going to break.
43.
Unless he can pop that red between the 2 in the middle. Yeah, he can. Bonus. Maybe not.
Hard to tell from square on. This needs to go, though.
Well, this is definitely frame ball. No, it's certainly not happening.
Kyren Wilson, 43.
His highest break of the match, but by no means a frame-winning one.
One.
So, Luca BRECEL back at the table on the pink with reds open.
Yeah, nice kiss he got. Or he's got options to just roll the pink in 5 or 2 reds in bulk.
This would be a hammer blow for Wilson, wouldn't it, if BRECEL could pinch this?
Yeah, but I don't think there's a lot of return for Wilson unless he finds some immediate form somewhere along the line. But can't, you know, it's just been one of them games where no one looks to be got going yet.
And you wonder if he had taken that marathon opening frame when he had chances on the blue and then the pink, it could have been a very different evening for him.
Yeah, the blue looked in, always missed the red.
Would you believe that?
That's
what a let-off.
frightening. It's
Luca BRECEL, 7.
he doesn't know, he can't believe it. It's see, Wilson would just get stronger and stronger for this. You know, this is you know, he's sort of sitting in his chair, you know, ready for 5-2 there.
BRECEL knows he's missed a golden opportunity to pinch that frame at that visit. And that could come back to bite him on the proverbial. Snooker has a habit of being a bit unforgiving if you don't take your chances.
Tell me about it. Yeah, perfect.
1.
17 in front, so he doesn't need all the reds.
Well, a 4-3 scoreline would be a major result for Wilson on the balance of play.
And what was his highest break up to date?
He's now made 43, which was in this frame.
Yeah, amazing.
Previous highest was 27.
Six.
See, as strange as it is, him being 4-3 down, I make him actual favourite because, you know, in a way, Luca BRECEL's thinking he should have been home by now, won this match in the hotel, getting ready for tomorrow.
Yep.
The chances he's had.
7.
And those frames that you lose when you've had the chance and let your opponent back in, so much more painful to take.
Yeah, it's, you know, they keep, like, it keeps going backwards and forwards. No one's really sort of flowing, and you know, when you lose these games, like Kyren Wilson lost the first game on the black, you know, it's sort of, the match has stayed that way throughout. Big shot here, red-black, he needs a snooker.
Yeah, a bit of pressure on this one.
Shot.
So 29 in front. And that should mean it's only 4-3 down.
Absolutely, that was a bad contact there, another kick there.
A little shake of the head from Wilson, but he should have done enough here. It's just the one snooker at the moment.
See, that's just a test of how he's curing. He's turned around in total disgust there. He just hit across everything.
20.
That was one of mine.
But here, Phil, his confidence in his curing is gone at the moment, but, you know, he's the type of player and the type of approach to the game. He realises he's 4-3. He'll probably go to the washroom after this, wash his face and give himself a little G to be 4-3. You know, he's not played anywhere near, you know, to sort of have won 3 frames, so he should be pleased with himself.
1.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreline, given the way he's played, is very good.
Yeah, it shouldn't have got to
Wilson.
7, no. It's from, you know, since the first game, you know. But that's because of, you know, Luca's good play, but Luca's just, from after the interval, he's just struggling, and I don't understand why. He should be loving it out there.
8.
1 snooker required then with the colours left.
It's there.
Luca BRECEL, 8.
And it's not a bad snooker because you've got the brown is stopping from getting to the right side of the pink cushion, so he's going to have to come between the brown and green, which this can go wrong.
And nothing safe if he misses it.
Absolutely. Big shot. He's got it on the way back. Oh.
Did he just catch the paintwork? There was no foul called.
Yeah, he just shaved it. And he's put the green save, so a little bit of bonus for Kyren there. I'm not sure what he played there, Luca. I think he might have played to pop the yellow and then get the green out and try and get a snooker.
Just nudged it.
Yeah.
He would have had his heart in his mouth for a moment. This is a huge frame, isn't it? The difference between 5-2 and 4-3 in the best of 11.
Yeah, you know, if there'd been like five or six breaks over 60 or 70, then, you know, you feel that you'd have a chance. But 5-2 down the way the game's going, it's very difficult to win. It looks like he's made it 4-3.
Yep, 2 snookers now required. 30 the difference, 25 left.
Good shot.
Kyren Wilson, 2.
Did anyone notice if Kyren Wilson went to the practice in the interval?
I didn't see him,
No.
so I don't think he did.
Right.
You wouldn't honestly say he's played much better since the interval,
No.
but you've got to give him credit for hanging on in there.
Amazing. See, he's now expecting to miss them. You see him looking up, you know, that's not his sort of attitude is very professional at the moment. He's sort of all over the place, you know. It's a good shot. Got a snooker there.
There's been a lot of head shaking this evening.
Yeah, it's dangerous as well. It's the green so close to the black. I can't see which way he's going to get out of this. Wow, he's playing the swerve around the blue. This could go wrong and leave a 3 ball. Like that. No, it's actually...
Foul.
It's not left a 3 ball.
Didn't get nearly enough action on the cue ball there, did he?
No. It was a very difficult shot. For me, he played it a bit quick, really. He didn't sort of work it out.
Which is perhaps a sign that he's feeling edgy.
Yeah.
So back to 1 snooker required. Oh, my goodness me. Well, that's the second miscue that BRECEL has come up with tonight, and that surely cost him this frame. Does anyone want to win this match?
See, Kyren in his previous matches far form, he's obviously played better than he did here so far. You know, he just doesn't feel he can get beat. So, you know, I expect something good is going to happen soon. You know, Luca is, he's got to get it together as well. Even though he's 4-3 up, he won't be too happy either.
No, he will not.
12.
He'll feel he should certainly be more than a frame ahead. But that's the margin now.
18 and
Kyren Wilson is struggling. He's been struggling from the very first ball, but he is battling for all he's worth out there, as he's done throughout this tournament, and he's back in the match as a result, because Luca BRECEL, who led 3-0, remember, and then 4-2, has been pegged back to 4-3. 6 is the target. That's still some way off. A lot of pressure out there. What's going to happen next? Frame 8 after the break. It's a real battle of attrition at the Temple Drum this evening. It's not quite the pattern of the match that we expected. There is a second miscue of the evening, a very costly one for Luca BRECEL, who'd got one of the 2 snookers he needed. But that miscue gifted Kyren Wilson the easy green, and that was the end of the 7th frame, which means that Wilson, despite his travails tonight, is only 1 frame behind. Those stats don't make especially great reading for either player. Look at the pot success. I mean, normally these two would be 90 plus. BRECEL at 86, but 79 for Kyren Wilson. A high break of just 43, and yet, Mike, and welcome back to you in the commentary box, he's only 1 behind.
Yeah, absolutely. And he must be thinking, I can win this from here. But, you know, Luca BRECEL is, well, he's obviously, they've both gone out, and in some ways he's looking to regroup and have a word with himself, and also Kyren thinking, well, hang on, if I make this 4-piece, let's see what happens.
Well, maybe he's saving the best till last, and certainly hope that's the case. Crowd are engrossed.
Yeah.
They haven't seen big breaks this evening. We expected more fireworks, but it's engrossing for sure.
Just waiting for Luca to return. The thing is as well, fellas, we know, I mean, if Kyren can get himself over the line here, tomorrow is another day. He could absolutely fly tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a number of players this week produce a great performance, followed by a pretty rough one. I think of Stephen Maguire, for example, who played very well to beat Mark Selby and then was hammered by Graham Dott, who in turn didn't play at all well today against Martin Gould.
24 hours is a long time in sport, isn't it? Anyway, the boys are back to take us into frame.
Thank you, frame 8. Kyren Wilson to break.
Frame 8 of a possible 11. Not a great break-off.
No, you can take this one onto the right corner. I'm not sure if the one will cut to the middle. It might. It's going to have to be really thin, though. Yes, that's the one he's looking at. So it had to be thin. Could do with catching the yellow here, which he hasn't done. So the door is slightly opened for Kyren Wilson.
Well, BRECEL had a big chance, didn't he, in the previous frame to pinch it for a 5-2 lead, and that might well have proved a decisive lead. And now he's wondering if he's going to be pegged back to 4 apiece.
Well, I was watching the last frame in the players' lounge, Phil. He was sitting with Jimmy, and I thought when he kind of tried to escape out of that snooker, I thought he missed that yellow. Obviously, he just feathered it.
Yeah. It was the proverbial coat of paint, but he did move it. And he might be beginning to think, Kyren Wilson, that it's his week, because by his own admission, he hasn't played anywhere near his best throughout the tournament. In fact, he's shown terrific tenacity.
Yeah. And if he goes to form, he's obviously going to win 6-5.
3 final frame deciders he's managed to win this week. Can he do it again? If he wins this frame, you'd have to make him the favourite.
I think so. Well, he must be thinking, "Look, how on earth am I still in this?" But he is. Grab the opportunity.
Seven.
Got a good angle here on the pink to go into them, but he's going to have to play this with a lot of power, a lot of top spin, just to quite tight, but it will go. But just drive the cue ball through these reds. I suppose there is an option. You can play a little cannon onto the red right of the pink, but for me, I'd be going through them with top spin. There might be one there to this right corner. You had to hit that with a little bit more power to really open them up.
13.
Yes, that one goes. Just got to be careful as to the path of the cue ball here. This could go wrong as regards position on the colour. He's actually got one to the right middle as well. He could stay on the pink with this one. Doesn't like it. It's slightly awkward cueing. Can't get to the middle of the white, but well, he's gone back to this one to the middle. No, he hasn't. My apologies. He's taken the one to the corner. Well, he didn't land good on them when he potted that pink.
13.
Bit of a let-off then for BRECEL. This is no gimme though. Well played.
Yes, very good. Struck it beautifully.
Six. Seven.
70 or 80 here for Luca would be handy, just to re-establish that 2-frame cushion, and then of course he'll only be 1 frame away from the final. And again, struck that well. He was hampered over the green.
11.
Back in prime position now.
Nineteen. 20. 25. 26.
Just keep good concentration here. That's not ideal because he's potting this red and going into the black.
33.
Could play the one to the right middle, hold for the pink. Yes, well played. Yes, nice recovery.
34.
And again, from his point of view, Phil, he has to make this count.
He's taken these very well so far. He's undoubtedly played the better snooker this evening.
40.
He'll feel as though he should win this match from this position.
41.
But should and actually managing to do it are two different things. So he's just got to keep his composure.
Yeah, concentration. I mean, he's not over the winning line here yet, and he does sometimes have a habit of throwing one in when we least expect it.
48.
I think you'd have got long odds at the start of the match on the highest break being just 67 after 7 and a bit frames. Chance to improve that here, though.
$55. 56.
I think he's finished the wrong side of the pink here. He wanted to be high. Difficult to see where the next red's coming from, unless he can get over for that one near the black.
That's a kick, I think.
Yeah, he's got enough checks high on it, though.
So a red and a colour.
62.
It should be 2 up with 3 to play.
63.
Didn't play that very well.
I don't understand why he's played it that way. Just played stun off the cushion. Guaranteed to be on the blue.
Now he's got a tough green, and this is missable with the rest. Not over the winning line yet. 50 the difference, 51 left.
Again, you know, he just seemed to take it a little bit casually, a bit quick. That was just take more care. We know that he's a talented player, but if he's going to get right to the top of this game, he's going to have to stop. He's going to have to cut these out.
Yeah, still a few rough edges to smooth off BRECEL's game, no question about that. Well, what a frame this would be for Kyren Wilson to win.
Especially now.
Handy fluke, but he's going to need another very good pot here.
Of course, if Luca loses this frame from here, he'll be thinking about a fluked red, but what a chance he had on the green.
Well, if truth be told, he should have had a much easier blue, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
And I think that played its part in him missing the green.
This is no gimme, though. It's not there. It's not there. That was tough. Oh, he's had enough.
And that's what he thinks of it. Well, frustration boiling over a little bit for Kyren Wilson, and I'm not surprised because he just cannot, try as he might, find anything like the game that we know he possesses. And Luca BRECEL, well, without entirely convincing, has limped his way to a 5-3 lead. Back here at the Temple Drum, Luca BRECEL on the cusp of a major landmark in his career.
Thank you.
First ever ranking final.
5-3
he leads.
To break. Quiet, please.
Just one more required. been a scrappy match. There's no getting away from it. And Kyren Wilson, in particular, has really struggled.
Yes, and that's the big question, isn't it? Has he got the ammunition here to get back into this match and probably force a decide, I should say, but I can't see it. I mean, you know, really can't see it. I hope he can get back into to play a decider, but oh, hang on, those will help.
Well, he had a fluke in the previous frame, which ultimately didn't make any difference. He certainly got previous as regards coming back from the brink of defeat this week. He's done it on a couple of occasions, including last night in the quarter-final against Ryan Day when he was 4-2 down and won 5-4. So you can't count him out.
No, but I think he was playing better than this.
I think he must have been.
See, he'll be totally frustrated
Wilson,
with himself as well, the way things have gone. You saw last frame when he missed that black. It was a tough black, and of course he threw the red down the table. It's not been a great night for him. He's a much better player than this.
But Luca BRECEL is still giving him cause for hope.
Careless.
I wonder if Kyren Wilson is a little mentally frazzled. We mentioned earlier in the match that perhaps the fact that he's had to go to the well so many times this week may have caught up with him a little.
Yeah. Sorry to Phil.
I was
Yeah,
going to say,
possibly.
then you factor in that he hasn't played on the main match table coming into this semi-final, and that would help to explain perhaps why he's been so below par. Not to mention the pressure of trying to get to another major final.
Luca's in. The big question is, can he finish the job here? Put himself into tomorrow's final against Martin Gould.
Very nearly 3 hours on the clock now for this match. Average frame time around 22 minutes.
Six. Seven.
Well, this is exactly what Luca BRECEL would have been hoping for. A good chance early in this ninth frame to close the deal.
Yes, but don't get careless.
Yeah, this is arguably the most important visit to the table of his career
13.
so far. The chance for his first ever appearance in a ranking final.
Well, they're playing for 15,000 euros this evening.
14.
And all the pounds, and well, it's euros, but will be converted into pounds on the provisional world ranking list, of course. It all helps. And I think the other one was at 80,000 euros. It equates to about, what, 65,000, something like 67. That will help as regards the rankings.
Hugely. So much
21.
at stake.
Well, this is a massive tournament as well. It really is regarded as a very, very good tournament.
22.
All the boys left coming here to play in Berlin. It's a big stage. 2,500 people in this Tempodrome.
Nearly 3 times as many as you get at the Crucible, to give you some idea.
$29.
No one's gone home early, that's for sure. It's not been a free-flowing match with big breaks, but you can't take your eyes off it because even now,
30.
we're not entirely sure what's going to happen next.
Just finished a little bit straight on the blue here. Now he could play the brown because I think there's a red on the pink spot. There's the wrong side. Where's the next red coming from? Yes, he's played on that red near the pink spot. Oh, he's got the knuckle. That's handy. He's made it a better angle.
Well, I think he might have played that. I've seen him do it a few times this week
35.
already. Seems to be a tactic he favours.
36.
Bit risky.
Yes. A bit clever when it works out. Oh, he's caught the red. He's okay. He's got one to the right middle. He didn't intend to catch that one on the way through.
43.
And you can bet your life that Luca BRECEL's heart is beating that little bit quicker at the moment. He knows how close he is. He can almost taste that place in the final.
Yeah. Now, does he? Which way does he go here? Does he run through for the blue, hold for the brown, or possibly the black? His top spin, I think it's the blue. Oh, that was a kick. I think that was a kick.
Luca BRECEL, 43.
Well, we've had plenty of those this week. Some are more costly than others. Yeah. Well spotted, Mike. The red definitely jumped. So this semi-final not done just yet.
No, I just wonder if that's that little bit of luck that Kyren's needed to get back into this match, but he hasn't got that one either.
Well, a number of times we've seen Wilson rattle his object ball this evening. He's never looked comfortable at any stage tonight. Even in the frames he's won, it's been through blood, sweat and tears. 42 the difference then. Still plenty of reds there if Wilson can get in. But he's right under it now because the next error could be his last. Bit thicker than intended.
He's offered up a chance here for Luca. There's the red in the middle of the table near the brown. He could take that on and stun through the gap for the black. If this goes in and he's on the black, it's match over.
Well, that's probably a smart move from BRECEL. Steel yourself. He knows the importance of this ball. One good long pot here, and he could be in the final. Time to summon the blood.
Mm.
No.
Well, he's got away with that because if that white goes into the middle, that's a great chance for Kyren, but just look where it's finished now.
There was a lot riding on that. But he's been lucky. Looks calm enough.
Yeah. Well, this is no gimme. This is tough.
Well, even when you're playing well and in stroke, that was a tough pot. But when you've been suffering the way Kyren Wilson has tonight with your cueing, no surprise to see him miss it.
He's had a touch though, Phil. He's got the snooker behind the pink. So, yes, OK, there's a possible pot down here for Luca, but if he lands on that red, it's probably match over. Disappointment, frustration. That was clever. Avoided those 2 reds with the other one. Well, if this red goes down the top rail, it's a chance. But this would be massive.
Last chance saloon, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, well, he can get it. Well, here we go. This is definitely all or nothing. Wow, what a pot that is. What a pot that is.
Well, that's why he's in the semi-final with 3 5-4 victories under his belt. Nerves of steel.
Yeah, he was right under the cosh there, but he produced. Still a long way to go yet, though, but a great red to get in.
Well, this really is Kyren Wilson's last shot at getting back into this match, you feel.
8.
And if he could conjure a frame-winning clearance here, that would be a big blow to Luca BRECEL, who was so close. Half a ball width away, really, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, and imagine if, you know, if he hadn't, Kyren hadn't snookered Luca on that red over the middle, I think we probably would have got him all over. Handshake, press conference.
And looking just a little anxious in his chair, BRECEL.
$13. $14.
Well, there's not much that's safe here. It's a real test of nerve, this break, as much as skill.
Well, if he can win this one, it's just going to put a few seeds of doubt
19.
into Luca's head. Because he'll be trying 100% to try and get over the line here. He's not there yet.
20.
Still to make 50 this evening, Kyren Wilson. His highest break, just 43. This would be a very opportune moment to put that right.
And there's no difficult balls on the table
24.
here.
$25. $32. $33.
Kick. What a moment to get it. Very nearly cost him the pot. And with it, the match. Well, how costly could that have been? He'll be mighty relieved to see that blue drop. I think for a moment he thought it was staying up. It looked that way. It hung on the far lip, but dropped.
Still got to do the job here, though. Just to put his nose in front in this 9th frame. He's got the angle to stun down past the black. Yes, well done.
Things are getting seriously intense out there. You can almost
43.
touch the tension in the auditorium. What a clearance this would be to keep his hopes alive of becoming German Masters champion. And every one of these
44.
points, a hammer blow for Luca BRECEL, who must have thought he had a foot and a half in the final.
Just gone a touch foul on this blue, but he'll just drop this in for the yellow. He'll need up to include in the blue as well after this. Slow down, slow down, slow down. He's going behind the pink. Looks okay.
49.
Well, that is unbelievable. He's had another kick on the yellow there. I don't know if we can get a replay, but he had one on the... Just look at this. Trying to get back for the green. Stopped. You don't need one at this stage. Nearly missed the blue to the middle. Now he's out of position.
Well, he can smile about it, but inside, he'll be fuming. It's been such a good break, this, under the most extreme pressure. His best of the match. But he's undercut the green and he's left the green.
Well, I'm not sure about that shot choice. You should have been a little bit patient and played a good safety, if not a snooker. That, for me, at this stage, was the wrong shot.
And maybe he pushed the boat out there, born of frustration at getting that kick, which could well have cost him not only this frame, but his chances of winning a second ranking title.
Should have stood back, thought about it. I know it's easy for us to say here. It's not so easy down there on the floor.
3.
So what a chance then for the young Belgian BRECEL, seeking his first ever ranking final appearance, and he's now on the very cusp of doing it.
Seven.
Well, it's not over quite yet. He's still 2 points behind. He needs the blue and the pink.
Keep going.
12.
Well, it's not ideal, but it's not bad.
What a moment for Luca BRECEL.
Quiet, please.
Not the kind of shot you want.
Well, he'll play this like he would normally play on the black here, Phil, won't he? He'll just try and stun this in, nothing off 2 cushions. This to go into tomorrow's final.
It's in. He's done it. Luca BRECEL into his first ever ranking final. And he richly deserves that win. Neither played at their best. That's an understatement, particularly for Kyren Wilson. But BRECEL was certainly the better of the two. He handled the occasion the better. He showed a lot of maturity beyond his 20 years. And he's given himself the chance to become German Masters champion. He's defeated Kyren Wilson by 6 frames to 3. And he will play Martin Gould in the final. Terrific performance from the young Belgian. Disappointment for Wilson, who didn't play anywhere near his best. But it's celebration time for Luca BRECEL.
Well played, Luca BRECEL. Some match that, nip and tuck at times, and certainly some talking points that came from it, not least the extraordinary number of kicks and false contacts that Kyren Wilson in particular seemed to get. But fair play to Luca BRECEL. It's been a while for a European player. I think it's since the days of Tony Drago that a European snooker player has reached a major final. And that is where he'll be tomorrow, having seen off the redoubtable young Kyren Wilson, who I'm sure will have happier days. He certainly proved his mettle with shots like that and over the course of the last few days here in Berlin. But just when he needed it, Luca BRECEL just had what it took and makes his way through to tomorrow's final, where he takes on Martin Gould. We'll have that, of course, live for you tomorrow lunchtime, 12:45. We are back with the first session of tomorrow's final on Eurosport 2. Gould and BRECEL. Ronnie, Jimmy and Neil here in the practice table area. And we have to start with what was obviously a real headache for Kyren Wilson. He just couldn't seem to get any regular happy contact between white and object ball.
Yeah, he got a lot of bad contacts in that match. He really struggled tonight, you know, never got going at all. I think his highest break was 43 in the whole match. And he was just struggling with everything out there, his game, the kicks, just couldn't get going. And I just think Luca, he didn't play much better really, but he just kind of handled it better in his mind. I think he just put it behind him a bit more and just got on with his game.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, I guess, one of those things, although, Jimmy, it does seem to have crept in a lot to the modern balls, cloths, whatever it is.
Well, we've been talking a lot, you know, there's a lot of players who complain about the kicks all the time, and you think, oh, it's maybe because they keep getting beat, but it's getting to a stage now, well, we was talking about, you know, they've got to try and bring back a thicker cloth and try something else, because these really shaved cloths we seem to have in some days like this, you have like 20, 30 kicks a match. You know, 1 or 2 kicks can cost you the frame, 20 or 30 can cost you a tournament.
Yeah, and when you finished your little stint in commentary, you spoke briefly to Kyren Wilson, didn't you? And he said he felt it was like almost every other shot he was saying was a kick.
I met him in the toilet, and, you know, I don't want to talk to him, I'm washing my hands, and he's come out the toilet and he's gone, I've never had so many kicks in a match. You know, it's obviously, like, really frustrating for him. But as Ronnie said, Luca seemed to handle it a lot better.
Yeah, I think he's on his way to talk to us now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well played. It was a tough match.
Yeah, I didn't play well. Me and Kyren didn't perform today. I think we had about 700 chances each. And
600 kicks on the table, it seemed, for both of you at times.
Yeah, but that's no excuse. We just didn't play well. I'm just happy to win. That's all I'm doing this week. Not playing great, but winning. So, yeah.
No, well, you've had some very tight matches and come through a number of them now.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll look forward as much as back. It's, you know, obviously in Germany, in the heart of Europe. It's fantastic for a European player to be in a major final, isn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable. I was just happy to be here in the venue and play here. And now I'm in the final. It's great, yeah. No,
I bet it is. I bet it is. Was it one of those matches that you feel like you're almost negatively affecting each other? Couldn't get any kind of rhythm to the match?
No, in patches I felt comfortable, and then in patches I just couldn't put a ball. So I don't know, just nervous maybe. I don't know. Just a bad game.
you looked, of the two of you, looked the more comfortable. Certainly the three skilled observers saw that in you.
Yeah, but I always look calm, so I think that's that's what they see. So now I'm comfortable.
But with the bad contacts that through the game, it does slow the tempo of the game down. You know, you're missing balls,
some bounces
kicks
as well.
Yeah, big bounces.
I just normally in the balls I feel like I'm not going to miss, but today I didn't know what to expect from the cushion, so. Yes, difficult.
How was the table generally? I know you played on that first morning match against Yao Xintong on that central table, so did that help a little bit that you had that time at it?
But today was totally different.
Was it?
The table, I don't know if they reclot the table, but it was different, and yeah, just a lot of kicks and...
Yeah. And is your tip all right? You even had one where you looked at the cue and thought, oh my lord, then maybe the tip's come off.
I miscued about 2 or 3 times. It's quite new, so I don't know how it's...
But it's still on there.
Yeah.
It's still on there.
I tell you what, though, I think of all the things that have gone wrong tonight, one thing, Luca, I can say is you were the more adventurous of the two of you. I mean, Kyren was struggling a bit, and he's been struggling a bit this week, but you attacked, and you deserved to win because you put him under more pressure, and he couldn't respond. So you just looked like you were the more dangerous player on the night, and that's what you've got to take into tomorrow's final, isn't it?
I think I'm more confident in winning frames when they are difficult.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Creating chances as well.
Yeah,
Scrappy frames.
Yeah, scrappy frames. Yeah, I'm more comfortable with that than Kyren, I think. And I can play bad and still win. I think that's the difference today. And but every time I got a chance to punish him and walk away from him, I didn't do it, but I still won in the end.
Yeah, you did, and well done to you. You've obviously been held up ever since you were, I don't know, maybe 14, 15, as this emerging talent in snooker. Whether that's felt like a weight sometimes on your shoulders, I don't know.
No, not really, but sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm too perfectionist sometimes, and but now I've learned to just win games. It doesn't matter how. So
yeah,
just win.
Well, that may happen tomorrow. Fingers crossed for you. Obviously, with respect to Martin, you're looking forward to playing. Have you played much against Martin Gould before?
2 times. I lost 2 times. So
Okay.
big favorite.
Well, he hasn't had much more experience than you. A little bit, but not a winner yet in a big final. So
no.
This is an opportunity.
Yeah, I think it will be different tomorrow. I think I can get something special tomorrow, and yeah.
Bring your A game.
Hopefully.
Bring your A game, and we'll see what we can do about the table for you, eh?
Oh, it's okay. I don't mind.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much for your time tonight, Luca. Well done. Well done indeed.
Good luck.
So Luca will be with us tomorrow. Luca BRECEL of Belgium and Martin Gould of Pinner. That's your German Masters Final 2016. We are back tomorrow lunchtime, 12:45 p.m. here on Eurosport 2 for coverage of the first session. Of course, we'll have the evening session for you as well, the culmination of this tournament. It's had so many surprises, cloths and balls that don't seem to behave themselves, big names falling every day, those that didn't even get here to play. But we'll have it all for you tomorrow. The last 2 standing, Luca BRECEL and Martin Gould. May the best man win. See you tomorrow lunch.